Alrighty guys and gals, so what we're going to do is we're going to combine the last two lessons that we've done. We're going to use the best version of our kinetics experiment with the yeast frothing as much as it can, along with the best possible kneading situation from the gluten formation. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up the best yeast situation that we saw, which was about half cup of water, about a teaspoon of sugar, and about 2 teaspoons of our active dry yeast, which is here. Okay, there we go. Again, doesn't have to be red star, whatever. So 2 of these guys, 2 teaspoons of this, 1 of sugar, and about a half cup of water, and you can tell that it's already frothing, and it's been going for maybe 2 or 3 minutes here in my house. Then what I've done here is I have taken about a cup of flour and I've just put it out on my countertop and made a little volcano with it. When the time comes, we are going to take the yeasty frothy mixture and just put it into the floury mixture in order to combine it all and to make it into a rudimentary bread dough. We're then going to split it into 2 parts. One part is going to not have much gluten in it because we're not going to knead it very much, and one part we're going to knead significantly and see how that behaves with the addition of the carbon dioxide of the yeast action there. So for right now, at the start of things, you need to set up your yeast concoction, which is again half cup of warm water, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of the active dry yeast, and we're going to let that sit and think about what it's done for about 20 minutes. While that's waiting, just get out and make a little volcano of about a cup of flour, and we'll see you in 20 minutes. Alright guys, here we are. So it's been about 20 minutes or so, and you can see that I've got some really nice frothy action going on here with my yeast. Now I've got my cup of flour. Hey look, if your counter is not clean or if you don't trust yourself, then get yourself a bowl and do it in the bowl here. It does make it a little bit more difficult to knead, but if you're careful, then you can do it here on the counter. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pour the yeasty mixture here into the flour, but pour it slowly, so that you get just a little bit at a time. Otherwise, it's just going to run all over. So I'm going to take some of my yeasty mixture and I'm going to pour some of it in. And then when I do, I'm just going to kind of mix. Oops, see, here we go. Already. It has just kind of gone all over the place here. But that's okay. And now that I do that, I'm going to pour a little bit more in and then just kind of mixify it in a little bit. So again, pour it slowly. Pour a little bit more in. Let that incorporate. And again, what you're trying to do here, whoops, see what I mean? So like I said, you might want to use a bowl if you don't trust yourself. Or if you don't mind making a mess, then, you know, kind of try to do it this way. It's a little bit more traditional. So, but try to get all that yeast in there. You don't have to use all of it if you don't want to. But all we're trying to do is mixify it in. And you'll notice again I'm wearing gloves because it's easier to get the gooiness off here. But what we just want to barely do here is get this guy combined. And then we're going to split it into 2 different parts like we did last time. The first part we are not going to knead. We're just going to kind of take half of it and set it off to the side because remember it's the kneading that gets the gluten. So I'm going to give it this last little bit here to get all of that in there. It's the kneading that makes the gluten, and it's that web of gluten that's going to trap the carbon dioxide bubbles better and give you a nice good rise with your bread that's there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take half of this or so and just set it off to the side, not do anything with it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and knead it like I did before. So again, try to pick up some of this. And after a few minutes, it's going to be a little bit better. And after 15 or 20 minutes of kneading, it's going to be even more better. Me fail English, that's impossible. Even better past that. And after you give this, again, a good 15 or 20 minutes worth of kneading, and you get that gluten structure really stuck in there pretty well, you should see quite a difference between these two loaves as far as the ability to rise. So I'm just going to knead this for 15 or 20 minutes. If you've got a mixer that's got a dough hook, you can use that as well if you'd prefer. But I don't know, this is kind of fun. And less stuff to clean up later. So I'll see you in about 15 or 20 minutes after I knead this. All right, so here we are. We have now been kneading this guy for a while. This is the unkneaded one. That one's just sitting there like a lump. This guy here, you could tell he looks very, very different than this guy does here when you see them side by side. Like the Irish guy in the video said, the dough will let you know when it has been kneaded enough. Now, I could probably knead this guy a lot more, but this guy certainly has a very different texture and appearance than this guy here does. And now all we're going to do is let them sit and think about what they've done, and let that yeast work its magic, and we'll see what happens as it goes. It's going to take a while, so just let it set on your countertop, or if you can't do that, then scoop them into individual bowls of similar size and let them set and rise, and you should hopefully see very different results between that lump there and that lump there after a half hour or an hour or so of time.